I'm Kelly Conheeney. I was a professional soccer player. I'm from Ridgewood, New Jersey, and now I live in Santa Monica, California. I started playing when I was 8 years old. I played for my dad's team, actually. I played with all my best friends, and then I moved up a level, played high school soccer, played club, and then played at Virginia Tech for college because of concussions my senior year in college. I took 3.5 years off, saw a specialist, and ended up getting back on the fields and playing in 2015 to 2018. Professional soccer was, it was my dream from a really young age. It was training every single day with some of the best players in the world, so the standard was up here, very, very high. I walked into a tryout with Sky Blue FC. They're in New Jersey. I played there for about 1.5 years and then was picked up by the Houston Dash until the end of that year, and then was picked up by Hammarby in Sweden the next year. Everything was regimented, from what you ate to how hard you trained that day, how much you hydrated and so on. Everything was very, very structured to get you to peak level of performance. So that type of environment and atmosphere kind of was something that I really loved and wanted my entire life. So my college career ended 6 games into my senior season. If you play more than 6 games, then you're not eligible for a red shirt. But because I played 6 games and that was it, I was eligible to play another year, doing whatever I could to get back on the field, but my symptoms weren't subsiding enough. Never got back on the field, watched my team make the Final Four from the bench. Embraced as much as I could being like a player coach from the sideline. It broke my heart that I couldn't play. That's how it ended. That was it. And I never thought I would play soccer again. During that time, I was out with my trainers and working to get back, and my symptoms weren't subsiding. And I kept pushing myself, and I was kind of, getting a little bit better, but not quite where I wanted to be. And then I would push myself too hard and maybe have to take 2 steps back. So it was a struggle for really 2 years. I sat the bench and worked really hard to try to get back on the field and never made it back on the field. Like my entire life was about playing professional soccer. I felt like I was letting my teammates down. I felt like I lost my identity. I didn't know who I was without soccer, mixed with the symptoms of concussion. So like the depression and the anxiety and those, terrible feelings that I never felt before, mixed with losing my sport. I was like, what am I gonna do? And who am I? And what is life without soccer? The worst mental state of my life. I did have psychologists at the school that I was able to talk to, some good friends in my corner. At the same time, really felt like I was letting my teammates down, and my identity was so soccer-centric that it was like my teammates only love me if I have a ball at my feet and if I can assist them for a goal. I think like the depression and the anxiety added to that, keeping myself to myself, which was not me. Also like the symptoms of concussions, like the physical symptoms of being, sensitive to light and noise, symptoms that not a lot of people could understand. They seemed so minor in my entire life. I, kind of prided myself on being like this tough person. I don't think a lot of people really knew what was going on. I tried to kind of keep a front when I knew that I was done. Yeah, that was really tough, just being on the sideline watching them, but also like I was so proud of them and also had this sense of this took years to build, and I was part of that. My coach even put me on the field for penalty kicks in the Sweet 16. That was just to show that I was, still a big part of the team and making the contribution that I could. Tears in my eye. And they're happy tears, like they're amazing tears because what it, did for me at, at that level to get me there. It was a lot. It was like, I think it took mental strength to get through the mental stuff and the physical stuff on top of that, like getting back into shape and having a touch for the ball, that's still there. Like that's muscle memory, and that's not something that you lose. For soccer to mean so much to me, and then to lose it, and then to think all those years that past that I would never step on the field again and like live my dreams out again. It fueled everything. My first game with Sky Blue, I scored the winning goal to win the game. And I think that for me solidified like this, I did it and like I'm here and I made it a good moment. Sitting on the field like in awe, like just wow, wow, wow. Like I couldn't even like put words to it, and I was just like, I looked at my coach and I said like thank you like for believing in me and like taking the chance on me. I actually went on to work for a nonprofit organization. We use soccer as like a social tool to educate in third world communities. A year abroad in 13 countries, moving all over the place after the sport. I really didn't have much time. I was kind of thrown into that. I mean, I still grieved every day. Like it was, this part of me that, but I was still around the game and able to play with these kids and be around kids. That helped me kind of like through the process of grieving. For me, it was like to lose it and to not have a choice was the hardest part. There's always going to be that period of time after sport where you're trying to figure things out, and I'm still kind of in that period of time. It's like, what do I do next? You want to stay around the sport and you want that same feeling of I love this so much, but I don't know if you ever do get that same feeling ever again. I hope I do find something that I love just as much as soccer. I want to help people, and there's a couple of areas where I can help people and combine like those things with like what excites me about it so I can be the best at it and really make an impact doing it. I have great friends, I have great family, but there is always going to be that thing inside of me that is like, I can do this on my own and I can get through it, and I want to have that tough exterior. So I think like seeing a therapist has really, helped me along the way at different aspects of my life, kind of figure out like what that next step looks like, and just to talk things through, because that's sometimes you just need to get things out. I found therapists through college. After college, my therapy was Coaches Across Continents, the organization that I worked with, just being around kids all the time. I kind of just learned tactics on my own. Like I do a lot of yoga now. I meditate, intentionally thinking about how do I get in the zone and become, more present. Most of the hurdles that I dealt with were during the period of when I was playing. And so that could have been related symptoms of concussions. I don't know. Now has kind of been like the focus has been on myself. How can I make myself better? How can I grow as a person? How can I be more present? How can I give more love to people around me? I had that on the field with my friends, and soccer always connected me in that way. I don't have soccer to do that for me anymore. You can really put me in any environment and I'll do well in it. At the time, I didn't realize that these things were in my path for a reason, but like I kind of like look back at it now and I'm like, I feel like I can do anything, and I'm back there where I was when I was entering college, feeling like, wow, like the world is like at my fingertips. If you can get to a point of being comfortable being uncomfortable, then you're getting somewhere. Wasn't something I was aware of at the time at all. You're just kind of like in a poor me state of mind, like very vulnerable and just sad that you don't have this thing that makes you so happy. And I kind of had those like bonus years of playing professionally and enjoying and loving the game, and and then the transition after that to focus on myself, practice like gratitude, and realize where I am right now and notice that I'm so lucky, to be here, and for that have to been my path, and to come all this way and to learn this much. I think I'm in a better position than I would have been if my career was smooth sailing. The exercise is a big part of that. Being in healthy relationships is a big part of that. Find something that, isn't going to replace your sport, but that makes you excited and makes you feel good every day. For me, it was so intense for so many years. So feeling like I wanted to just relax and work on my mind was kind of what brought me to yoga. And yoga has really, really helped me. Maybe 40 years from now, if my brain isn't working the same way and I'm not feeling good in the head, I will have regrets, but right now I don't. I feel really good. I know that I put it all out there. There were points where I was like, I don't want to get up in the morning. I don't care. That mental space is like so dangerous and so rock bottom. And, I'm sure I'm not the only one that, has been there. And I know there are a lot of athletes that struggle, on the daily with depression, and it's a hard place to be. It's going to be okay. Yeah. I think that's all I really needed to hear is it's going to be okay. It's going to get better. Like rock bottom, when you're there, you don't think that it's going to get better. You don't know any different. And you're looking for something to get you out of that mental space. And those words, they go a long way. To find that one thing. Standing still to try to find that thing doesn't work. So you just have to keep moving forward, and you have to keep trying things and throwing yourself into new adventures, and you're ultimately going to land somewhere that you want to be.